Your client says with total conviction, "I'll never be able to do that." They say it like it's fact, like gravity, like the sky is blue and water is wet and they will never be able to do that thing. And you have a choice in that moment. You can accept it and move on, or you can gently but firmly challenge whether it's actually true. This moment defines the coaching. When a client states a limitation with absolute certainty, they're not asking you to question it. They believe it completely. But here's what's happening beneath the surface. That statement isn't fact. It's a belief, one that's been running unchallenged, probably for years. If you accept it as truth, you've just agreed to coach within walls that don't need to exist. If you challenge it with care, you might just help them discover a door where they only saw a wall. This is marker 7.02 in action, challenging the client as a way to evoke awareness or insight. And limiting beliefs, they're one of the most powerful moments to apply this marker. When you gently challenge a limiting belief, you're opening doors to awareness. When you accept it without question, you're reinforcing the limitation. You're keeping them stuck. The challenge creates breakthrough. The acceptance reinforces the cave. So how do you recognize a limiting belief when you hear one? They masquerade as facts. That's the tricky part. They're stated with certainty rather than presented as opinions. Listen for phrases like, "I can't," "I will never," "That's just how I am," "There's no way," "It's impossible for me." The client believes it completely, so they don't question it. They've lived with this belief so long, it feels like part of their identity. Your job is to question it with care and curiosity when they can. Let me give you some tools. The first approach is reflection with gentle challenge. You take their exact language and offer it back with strategic emphasis. Being willing to say something, being willing to challenge that way of thinking, being willing to bring to light what you heard them say. So if they say, "Well, I'll never be able to do that," then you talk about that. "You'll never be able to do that?" "Never? There's no way it could ever happen?" "It's just completely out of the question." Let the words hang in the air so they can truly hear what they said. Sometimes hearing their own certainty reflected back is enough to crack it open. The second approach is curious exploration. What gives you the sense that you'll never be able to do that? You're not arguing with them. You're not proving them wrong. You're inviting them to look deeper at the belief's roots. How long have you believed this about yourself? Where did this certainty come from? Was there a specific moment? Stay curious, not argumentative. You're exploring the foundation of the belief together. Often, when clients trace the origin, they discover the belief was formed in a context that no longer applies. The third approach helps them access counter evidence from their own experience. Has there ever been a time when you thought you couldn't do something and then did? Most people have examples. They just haven't connected them to this current limitation. Or try shifting perspective. What would someone who believes in you say about this limitation? The goal isn't to convince them they're wrong. It's to help them see that what feels like a solid wall might actually be a door they haven't tried to open yet. Now, a few cautions. Don't argue with your client about their beliefs. Debating creates defensiveness and shuts down exploration. Challenge the belief, not the person. Don't accept limiting beliefs just because they sound deeply held. Conviction doesn't equal truth. Don't mistake certainty for accuracy. And don't use challenge as a tool to demonstrate how clever you are. This isn't about proving anything. It's about serving your client's growth. Examine the belief system with curiosity. Never make the client feel judged or diminished for holding the belief. So remember, challenge the belief, not the person. Create safety while examining the limitation. Your client should feel supported, not attacked. Use language that opens curiosity rather than triggers defensiveness. Questions work better than statements. And keep the goal clear. You're not trying to convince them they're wrong. You're helping them see that what feels like a wall might actually be a door. Challenging beliefs is about the client's thinking. But let's not forget, coaching focuses on the client themselves, not just the problem they brought in.